This is Better Business Coach, session number 10.
This is the Better Business Coach Podcast, your source for critical sales training, proven education, and actionable worksheets. All downloadable for immediate use. We work hard so you don't have to. Now your host, the rapid growth guy himself, Matthew Pollard.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Better Business Coach. My name is Matthew Pollard and as always, I am your rapid growth guy. I just want to take a quick second to extend my absolute gratitude for all the people that have subscribed to this podcast, listened to numerous episodes, and posted their reviews with great star ratings. Every one of them 5 stars. I so appreciate it. And it's because of your support that we have already, just a few days in, arrived in new and noteworthy in iTunes. This is something many podcasts don't even make the list. And you guys, because of your support, the Better Business Coach podcast has arrived there within a few short days. So thank you so much. Already over 1,000 downloads. It's just overwhelming the amount of support I'm getting. I really do appreciate it. For those that haven't had a chance yet, please, it takes 30 seconds. You can do it while you're having a coffee. It's so simple. You just hop on your iTunes account on your laptop or hop on your iTunes account on your iPhone, type in Better Business Coach Podcast. It'll show up. All you do is click on review and then click the star rating that you feel that this podcast deserves and write a quick 10-word review about what you think about the podcast. And that support helps so many other people get access to this podcast because without it, it doesn't get up on the list in New and Noteworthy, and so many people that are in dire situations or just want help like you would miss out. So please, I'll ask you to hop on iTunes and provide that review. Thank you so much in advance. It really is going to make such a difference. Okay, now we're going to be talking about in this session, summarizing your findings to the business owner or selling to a customer or translating them from a prospect in to a customer. This is probably one of the most important sessions that you'll do, and I want to clarify that it's actually very basic. If in session 7 and 8 you learned how to do a business needs analysis well. If in session 9 you learned the steps to active listening, because if you have those things in place, you will be able to unfreeze the client to the fact that they need change, and B, help them identify that you understand their unique situation and that you are well placed in helping them overcome the problems that they face or achieve what they want. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through this very simple process. And what you will see is there are only a few words that change. And these few words will change based on what is highlighted in the business needs analysis that they need help with. So let me talk you through 3 examples, and then you will see just how simple it is to adjust these to what comes out in the business needs analysis. Example 1 is, from this analysis, I can see that you're not sure where to take your business. My practice is to set up a 3-hour intake session where we take you on a journey to develop your great vision and the strategy for your business. After that, we'll look at setting up a regular coaching session so that you can achieve your vision. Now, you'll notice from that, we've set a small stepping stone in the process. Why have we done that? Because you've done a business needs analysis, they know they need change. The next thing that we've done is said, let's meet for 3 hours. What that does is it gives them an opportunity to not commit to you wholeheartedly, but they're still getting out their credit card to pay for something. Second, it gives you the opportunity to make sure you're a good fit with the client. I know this sounds crazy for people that probably don't have enough clients. However, it's always better to pick the right clients. I pick clients, or I work with clients that make it easy for me to get out of bed in the morning. I work with clients that listen to what I say. And anytime I ever work with a client that doesn't, I find I don't get the best results, and they're the ones that could write bad reviews for you. So I learned that lesson very early, and I always achieve success, but I give them a 3 or a 5 hour, depending on what I think they need, intake session to make sure that they're the right fit for me and allow them the opportunity to taste test, if you like, that I am the right fit for them. And what I can tell you is after you use the templates that are coming in the future sessions of this Better Business Coach podcast, there'll be no question in their mind that you are the right choice. And that's why I don't mind, because again, if you only set them up with 3 or 5 hours and it's a monthly locked in session, they may still cancel you after that period. So it's an easier sell, plus you can move them to something more formal very quickly afterwards, and you'll probably find they'll commit to a much higher number of sessions or a subscription-based session very, very simply as a result of you baby stepping them into the process. Now, I want to quickly mention before I give you these 2 other examples, please do not become a salesperson here. This is the worst thing you could possibly do. You don't need to be a salesperson. What you do need to do is show them as a consultant a very simple synopsis, which is what these paragraphs do, of where you think they need help and what your solution is for taking them on a journey to fix that solution. Okay, let's discuss the 2 other examples and you'll see just how similar they are. Example 2. From this analysis, I can see that you're having difficulty growing your business. My normal practice is to set up a 3-hour intake session where I take you on a journey to develop a great vision and a great strategy for your business. After that, we'll look at setting up regular sessions to help you create great systems that will empower your staff. You'll see there are very slight differences, and it's just because I'm assuming in this scenario, I've identified that the reason why they can't grow their business is because their staff don't feel empowered. The business owner is stopping himself from getting where he wants to go. And for that paragraph to work, you need to ensure that he is unfrozen to the fact that he is getting in his own way. Example 3. From this analysis, I can see that your business is not as profitable as you would like it to be. My normal practice is to set up a 5-hour intake session where I take you on a journey to work out where your business is going and then look at strategies so that we can make your business as profitable as it can be. After that, we'll look at setting up a regular session so that we can create the most successful and profitable business possible for you. Again, they're all very, very simple. They're all very, very basic. And I'll show you how to transition that into getting a credit card in a second. I just want to make it clear that if you haven't actively listened, you won't know what to fill in those gaps. If you are following these 3 paragraphs and you don't alter it with the business needs analysis, you're not going to speak to the customer in the words that they understand. Use the words that they've told you. Use the problems that they spoke about and that you identified in the business needs analysis to transition those into these paragraphs that are nice and easy and simple. Now, the next thing we need to do is we need to transition this into talking about price. Now, the first thing I will tell you is you should not have talked about price yet. A person starts talking about price well too soon, and the customer can only think in their head, oh wow, this is too expensive, I can't afford that. You never talk about price until a person has seen the true value in what you have to offer, wants it, then you discuss price. We're then going to talk about how to get them to agree to a time. Then we're going to talk about how to get them to get it into their diary and then how to get the paperwork filled out. It's a very simple transition, and I'm going to go through an example right now. So you've just finished the business needs analysis with the customer, and then you transition into, from this analysis, I can see that you're not quite sure where to take your business. My normal practice is to set up a 3-hour intake session where I take you on a journey to develop your great vision and strategy for your business. After that, we'll look at setting up regular coaching sessions so that you can achieve your vision. Now, the general price and how I work this first 3 sessions is I charge $2,000 for this 3-hour period. And it's a great opportunity to really trial and test exactly whether or not we're a great fit for each other. You get a taste tester to work out whether or not I'm the right coach for you. And on top of that, you get to make sure that I'm showing you a return on investment. Because let's be honest, as a coach, if I don't show you return on investment, then you're not going to keep me going. On top of that, I get to make sure you're the right fit for me. And this is like a qualification process. So I get to see whether or not you're the right fit for me. And the reason why I do this and the reason why I like to do this is at the end of this 3-hour intake session, if I find that you're not following my advice, if I find that you're not motivated enough to make these changes and actively work on your business, not just in your business, I will tell you, because at the end of the day, it's only a matter of 2, 3, maybe 4 more sessions until you give me the boot and write a horrible review. So I would like you to be the ideal client for me, and I want you to make sure and use this time to make sure that I am the ideal coach for you and you can see just how effective what I'm going to do with you is going to be. And trust me, at the end of 3 hours, I've never really ever lost a client because of that, because once we start going through the first 3 hours or the first 5 hours, depending on what you've said, you'll have no doubt in your mind how I got the nickname the Rapid Growth Guy. That's what I say. Or you'll have no doubt in your mind just why I get so many great reviews and testimonials from my clients is another thing you could say. So what I need to do first is get an indication, and this is when we're moving into what's called a trial close. What I need to do is get an indication of what suits you best. Would it be a morning or an afternoon session? Here the client will answer one of 3 ways. Oh, morning would be perfect. Afternoon would be perfect. Or, oh, I'm not really wanting to make a decision right now. What that means is that your business needs analysis perhaps wasn't as strong. Perhaps you didn't listen enough and you didn't identify the client's true underlying issues. Doesn't matter. What we've really just uncovered is that you haven't done enough homework yet. So you need to tell more stories, which we'll talk about in a few later sessions. But tell stories about the successes you've had with previous customers. Tell some stories about how you're really excited about working with them. Give them some examples of some of the things that you are looking forward to implementing in their business without giving them, as we spoke about in sessions 7 and 8, all the answers that they can implement it without you. So if they have said, I need to think about it, you know you need to go back and do more legwork. That shouldn't happen very often if you've done the business needs analysis and actively listened correctly. However, if they do say that, don't stress, it happens. It doesn't mean they've said no, it's just them saying they want to think about it, and you shouldn't even leave at that point. You should start talking to them about what you could potentially do to help them, or things that you're excited to get working on, or link them back to what they talked about in the business needs analysis that they want fixed straight away. It shouldn't be feeling uncomfortable, because they've only said no to the fact that you haven't truly identified the problem yet, and you can rework that straight away. What you'll commonly find though is the answer will be morning or afternoon, and you can say, great. And then what you do is you open up your diary and you say, I'm one of those people that just likes to get things booked in straight away because I book out really, really quickly. So let me have a quick look, and never pick a session in the same week or in the first part of the next week. Always give them an option for the second part of the week or the week after that, and tell them, okay, I have a session, and give them 3 options. For instance, if they say mornings, you'll say, okay, I have a session on Wednesday at 11 o'clock. I've got one on the following Monday morning at 10 o'clock, and I've got one on the following Wednesday at 11:30. Have you got your diary there? And they'll pull out their diary and you'll book in those sessions. Then what you will say to the client, and this is a second part of a trial close, by the way. Then you say to the client, okay, great. Now I just need to make sure you have an ABN number, which is the Australian version of an EIN number. So if you're in the US, you'll say, okay, so I just need to make sure that you have an EIN number. The customer will say, yes, I have. You say, great. Can you go get that for me, please? The customer will then jump up and go and get it for you. Funnily enough, if you say, would you like to go and get that? They'll think about it. If you say, could you go and get that for me? They'll think about it. If you say, great, can you go and grab that for me, please? All of a sudden, they'll just get up and they'll go and get it. When they leave, you should pull out your paperwork and start filling it out. We're doing what's called an assumptive close, i.e., I still haven't said, would you like to work with me? I've just assumed they will. So when they come back, I've already got the paperwork out. I'm already filling it out. I've already talked about the price. I just haven't said, would you like to be my client? What happens when they come back is they hand me their ABN, or they generally have a stamp with it on or whatever. I grab that off them and I put my head back down and I start filling it out. And then what I do is I turn the paper over and I say, okay, great. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly go through this with you. Obviously, this is just your personal details, like your name, your address, that sort of thing, which we already discussed. Your EIN number is listed, or your ABN number is listed here. For tax purposes, I can give you a proper invoice and that sort of thing. And then here, as we spoke about, it's your 3 or your 5 sessions for $2,000. So what I just need is I just need a squiggle at the bottom of this page. And I never use the word sign. I don't even use the word John Hancock or anything like that, because everyone knows that means sign and it's scary. The word squiggle is not scary at all. People don't even think twice and they'll squiggle. And then you've got yourself a customer for 3 hours. At the end of the 3 hours, you will then do a very simple transition to, okay, great, I know you've got a lot out of these sessions. Let's do this on a regular basis, hey? And then you do the same thing. Let's get out our diary, you continue on. What you can see there is it was a very simplistic process. All we're doing is transitioning from one thing to the next to the next. The only thing I didn't do is say, would you like to be my customer? And trust me when I say this, the customer will appreciate you not asking. See, everybody knows they should never sign anything on the spot. Everybody knows signing a contract is scary. So by just assuming that they're doing it, when you know they want to do it anyway, you can see in their eyes, they're unfrozen, they want to get started, they like you, they trust you because you listened. Because you didn't ask them, would you like to move forward or would you like to work with me, and just assumed the sale, it meant that they didn't have to make that horribly stressful decision to go with you. They just assumed they were going with you also. You assumed they were going with you. They assumed they were going with you. You filled out the paperwork. Now you're their coach. It's that simple. It's that easy. Now, I know that I'm going to be talking about some more sophisticated things in the future, but I hope you can understand just how easy that is and how simple it is to transition a client that way, especially considering you've just spent 30 minutes, an hour with them doing the business needs analysis, and you've actively listened and you've engaged with them and you've made them feel like you're the right person to work with them. It shouldn't be difficult, and by just assuming the sale and by talking about everything in an indifferent way, following the process and booking it in, you will find that you just get customers so much simpler. So guys, that was the summarizing your findings to the business owner and closing the customer. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, again, thank you so much to everybody that has subscribed, everybody that's downloaded more than one episode, and many people have downloaded several episodes. And thank you to everybody that has posted a review with the 5-star ratings. I really so much appreciate it. And I will ask one more time, please guys, if you haven't had a chance yet, your reviews, your subscriptions and your star ratings are going to be the reason why so many other people get to see this podcast in iTunes by raising it in the new and noteworthy charts. So please take 30 seconds out of your day, hop on iTunes, type in Better Business Coach Podcast, or hop on your iPhone and open the podcast app and type in under search Better Business Coach Podcast, press the review tab and just click the star ratings that you think that this podcast has earned. And on top of that, just write a few words about what you think of the podcast. I'd love to hear your feedback. And then press submit. Job done. We're now at the top of iTunes and we're helping so many more people. So let's be a team about this. And I really, really appreciate everybody's effort. So thank you very much. And I'll see you in the next episode of Better Business Coach Podcast. Cheers.
Thanks for listening to the Better Business Coach Podcast. Head over to MatthewPollard.guru for links, recaps, and any downloadable templates mentioned in this and every show. Also, if you've not already rated our new podcast in iTunes, we'd love your support. Simply leave a review and the star rating you think worthy. Hey, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Thank you in advance, and see you next time.